Hey guys, it's Shawnee. So I wanted to make this video today in order to share with you some things that you can consider if you've been having a really hard time losing weight. Now, when I set out to lose the 75 pounds that I lost just a few years ago, I learned a ton along the way. There was so much contradicting information out there. It was so hard to sort through everything. So I sorted through a lot of things by experimenting quite often and finding a lot of what worked for people on a universal scale and just in general for me, what worked best for me, what worked best for my lifestyles with people that I work with who are having a hard time losing weight. Often these core things need to be addressed before really anything else can start to follow as far as results. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 simple things to consider if you have been having a hard time losing weight or you feel like weight loss is just impossible. So obviously there are more than 4 things, but what I like to often say is don't move on to the bigger, more complicated things unless you can do the really simple things very well. So simple thing number 1, and of course I totally understand if to you it's not simple because you've been living it. I get it. This was my life, so I'm simply sharing with you 4 things that are going to really amplify you to the next level if you haven't already been doing these things. The first thing to consider is, are you drinking your calories? Are you having sugary drinks for breakfast? Sugary drinks also include fruit. If you're having things like orange juice, apple juice, pomegranate juice, if you're having one of those shakes that contain fruit juices in it for breakfast, you are drinking your calories and you are also spiking your blood sugar levels. You're causing insulin response within your body. You're causing all sorts of things to happen that are going to make it extremely difficult for you to lose weight. The same goes if you are also consuming a ton of fruit for breakfast, if you're consuming muffins or bagels, if you're consuming a lot of sugary items. But for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on the fact that if you're drinking your calories, this is going to be a huge detriment to your weight loss. So number 1 thing I recommend is to start to cut out all sodas, all juices, even diet sodas for a while so you can acclimate to getting used to just simply not having them, not craving them, and then you can start to see how that affects you from there. This also includes your coffee. If you are dumping milk, if you're dumping sugar, if you're even putting sugar in your coffee. Maybe you say, oh, I only use a packet of sugar. But it's very important to look at what that's doing to you for the rest of the day. So are you getting really hungry toward the afternoon? Are you snacking a lot during the day? These things are all affecting you in the long run. So do start out by cutting those things out if you really do want to start to see the weight come off. The second thing that you may want to consider is what kind of food are you surrounded by? And are you snacking a lot during the day? If you were to go home, if you were to open up your pantry cabinet, if you were to go to the office and open up your desk drawer, what kind of food are you going to find on hand? Are you relying on snacks a lot more than you're relying on meals consisting of whole foods? Whole foods meaning the right types of grain. If you're eating tons of vegetables, if you're eating appropriate sized portions of proteins, if you're taking in plenty of fat. If you're relying on snacks throughout the day, you're going to have a very difficult time losing the weight. A lot of times these snacks are packed with carbohydrates. Carbs will always turn into sugar. It doesn't matter where the carbs come from. But if you're not balancing out your snacks with proteins and fats, you're going to have a harder time whittling down that waste. So right away, what I would recommend is immediately cut out the snacks, cut out the mindless fruit eating throughout the day, cut out for sure those flavored yogurts because they're packed with sugar, and focus on getting a more well-balanced breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You don't need snacks. Now, some people are going to totally disagree with me here. There are different levels of nutrition for different people, for different styles of eating, for athletes. There are different requirements for everybody, but this is for you if you've been having a lot of trouble losing the weight and you've been snacking because you feel like you need the snacks. I'm telling you, the snacks are preventing you from losing the weight you want to lose. So try incorporating, again, more protein, more good fats into each of your meals, and you'll find, number 1, that you won't need the snacks like you thought you did, and number 2, you're going to start to see the scale drop in weight. The number 3 thing to consider now, obviously, since we're not drinking our calories, since we cut out all of sodas and juices, you want to make sure that you're maintaining hydration. Now, I'm not saying that cutting out these sugary drinks is going to also make you dehydrated. We need to drink plenty of water. Water not only is essential for the body's mineral balance, it's essential for hormone production and regulation, as well as metabolic function and recovery. Also, it's extremely easy to confuse thirst for hunger, which can cause us to overeat. And it could also trick you into thinking that you need sugary substances in order to replace that hydration. Big example being, I've worked with people in the past who have said that whenever they get thirsty, they crave fruit, because fruit can be very juicy, it can feel very hydrating, but at the end of the day, when all of that fructose goes straight to the liver for processing to become fat, it's not helping you, it's hurting you. So if you haven't been drinking a lot of water, go ahead and incorporate double what you've been drinking. That means if you've been drinking 1 glass a day, drink 2 glasses. At least for the first couple of days, then triple it, then quadruple it. Find the point at which you feel like you're starting to feel better. One big indicator that I tell people quite often is that if you're yawning a lot, you probably are slightly dehydrated. So definitely get more water. The 4th thing that you must consider when you're just starting out on your weight loss journey and you want to create results that are going to last is, are you getting enough sleep? People say it all the time, but if you're not getting enough sleep, again, your body can't regulate hormones properly, and therefore you can't run with an efficient metabolism. I can give you all the science behind why sleep is important, and you can look it up. It's been said a million times over, but I want you to really think about that last time you were really lacking sleep. I know me personally, when I get up and I haven't had enough sleep, instantly I know it right away. I'm hungry, I'm craving sugary substances, I'm craving the types of foods that will give me that high that I just didn't get from resting properly. Think back to the last time that you felt the same way. And then what did you do? Did you have coffee? Did you crash later? Did you have a sugary breakfast and crash later? Did you overeat all day? These things affect your results in the long run, and they make it so hard to lose weight. So do yourself a big favor and just get more sleep, whatever it takes. Turn off the devices when you go into bed and do whatever it takes to get the sleep that you need. Now I'm gonna give you a little bonus. So number 5, the little bonus here. So once you've addressed all of these areas, number 1, you're not drinking your calories, you're not consuming sugary sodas or juices or overloading your coffees with sugar. That includes those popular frappuccinos that everybody loves so much. Check the labels, people. Come on now. Number 2, you haven't been keeping a lot of snacky foods around. You've been incorporating bigger meals full of more proteins and fats. Number 3, you've been drinking plenty of water. Number 4, you've been getting more sleep, more quality sleep. Then you can start to look at how number 5, which is getting more exercise, will really play into all of this overall. Now, simply moving more could be a big difference between you finally reaching your weight loss goals and not. You have to look at how many hours a day do you sit, how many hours a day are you at a desk, are you in your car, are you always taking the escalator or the elevator when there are stairs right there. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to go out and run a marathon. I'm not telling you that if you have some sort of physical ailment that you need to get out there and move, but you do need to get out there and move somehow. And if you have a physical ailment, I highly, highly recommend hiring a coach. It doesn't have to be the end of your movement as we know it, but do also make sure that you have items number 1 through 4 in place, because it's going to make a huge difference for you. I promise you that losing weight is a lot more simple than we like to think of it as. And a lot of information out there can seem very complicated. It can seem so discouraging. But if you put it all back in perspective and say to yourself, what can I do today? What can I do right now that's going to take me to the next level? You can start to see where you've been excelling or where you might need to pull back in order to actually achieve those weight loss goals this year. And of course, I'm always here for you. Comment down below, contact me directly if you need additional help. I'm always here to cheer you on because I know exactly how it feels. So that's why I will be back with more videos that help you to learn exactly how you can actually love this scale, no matter what it says. So thanks for watching.